Her eyes blinked open, and she drew a heavy breath through her nose. The oxygen tube there cut a line across her cheeks, and the air bubbled in the humidifying chamber with her effort. "Hi, Dr. Toby," she said in her sweet child's voice. Her giant blue eyes locked onto him. Total trust. Total innocence. She did not question what he was doing, even though he and the nurses had poked her limbs with needles and performed every manner of painful procedure on her over the past several months. She showed no fear. The brave girl only thought to say hello. No tears, no complaints. "Shh," he said. "I didn't mean to wake you. I need you to wear this special necklace for a few hours. I'll be back to get it later." "Why?" She looked down at the pearlescent white disc against her skin. "It's a secret." "Where did you get it?" "Where do you think?" "It looks like a seashell. I think you got it from a mermaid," she said between breaths. Who was he to deny a sick little girl a fantasy? "Our secret," he responded, placing a finger over his lips. "I'll be back to retrieve it. The Mermaid King loaned it to me for one night only." "Wow!" Eyes wide, she strained to smile. "Really?" "Close your eyes, Caitlin," he said. He was relieved when she obeyed. "Good girl. Now, dream of a mermaid kingdom. I'll check on you later." He tucked the blankets around her. A few hours with the amulet should heal her, although he couldn't recall it ever being used on an illness like this. If memory served, Mayara, the native healer who had created the amulet, had used it mostly on injuries, not illnesses. It didn't matter. Indeed, he had no other choice but to try. His own magic wasn't right for this situation. Dragons could heal, but only by binding, and binding one so young would be unforgivable. No, this was his last hope. He was sure it broke all sorts of ethical boundaries. It was not like Tobias to break the rules. He wasn't proud of his newfound flirtation with rebellion. Not one bit. He left the room, completely distracted by his conflicting emotions on the issue, and slammed right into a blur of red and surgical green careening down the hall. Coffee splashed. A box flew and skimmed across the floor. He squatted down to retrieve it. "Sorry," he said. "I didn't see you." When he handed the box back to the nurse he'd collided with, he did a double take. Sabrina Bishop. He didn't work with her as often as he'd like, but when he did, the experience was memorable. Sabrina reminded him of cherry pie. Fresh, sweet, warm. She was the type who always asked about a patient's feelings, who held a parent's hand during a procedure, who spent way too much time talking to the hospital chaplain. Her hair, which was the bright red of maple leaves, and her milky complexion didn't hurt the comparison either. He frowned at the coffee stain on her scrubs. "Let me get you something for that." "Never mind. I've got it." She rounded the corner of the nurse's station and took a seat behind the desk. Grabbing a fistful of tissues, she set the red box he'd retrieved down on the counter and dabbed at the spill. "Animal crackers?" Tobias eyed the snack box, the corner of his mouth twitching upward. "Are those for you or a patient?" She flashed him a smile. "For me. Why?" "I just haven't seen anyone over the age of 5 eating animal crackers in a while. Like, ever." Leaning back in the chair, she raised her chin and stared down her nose at him. "I'll have you know I do it as a mental health exercise." He snorted. "How is eating animal crackers a mental health exercise?" "Have you heard the saying, 'How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time?'" "Sure." "Well, how do you eat animal crackers? One elephant at a time." She tore open the box and popped the cracker into her mouth. It makes me feel like I've accomplished something." He narrowed his eyes and shook his head. "That makes no logical sense." "Logic is highly overrated, Doctor. You should ditch logic in favor of magic." Their eyes caught and held. Her use of the word magic unsettled him.